From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Happy holidays from Weather NorCal and our sponsors. Have a wonderful holiday season.
Well, happy Tuesday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Let's start off by taking a look at how much rain we saw over the last 24 hours. And, we saw about a half an inch out in Chico, 3,500s out in Redding, Hoopa about 3,600s, and you can see a little bit more out towards Crescent City. This is good. We're just tacking on more from what we've seen. And the thing is, most of us are going to see a break here for the next several days, really through most of the week. And we'll get into that and what that means, because not everyone that will be the case here. Just kind of this one little kink here for tomorrow. But I do expect a drier trend for most of Northern California through Friday. Morning showers for the North Coast, Siskiyou, and Trinity County on Wednesday. So that's what I was talking about. For the North Coast, Siskiyou, Trinity County, maybe that chance for showers early in the morning. But otherwise, I do expect another wet weather pattern to move in here as we go into the weekend and even into next week. And by the way, this Saturday is the winter solstice. It's known as the first day of winter. It's the shortest day, or should we say the shortest amount of daylight. And then, of course, we start after that seeing the daylight hours get longer and longer. That's always nice to talk about, right? But here's take a look through Krueger's Quickcast here for your Tuesday, December 17th. Getting you out the door this morning, there is going to be some patchy fog even for the Sacramento Valley. There can be some patchy fog also for some of the inland and mountain valleys, otherwise mostly cloudy skies and mainly dry conditions. There is a dense fog advisory for Glenn and Butte counties southward into the Sacramento region here until 11 o'clock in the morning. So we take a look at the visibility forecast here, and it's really not showing a lot of fog. I did take a look before I recorded this, and visibilities were down in parts of the valley to about 3 to 4 mile visibility. It could get a little bit worse before sunrise, but as we go into the sunrise hours and the sun comes out, we'll be looking at less in the way of that fog here. So really what I'm expecting for the valley is patchy areas of fog. So in your morning commute, don't be surprised if you run into just a quick patch of fog, and then, of course, it kind of moves on out. By 10 a.m., most of that's gone. That's the case also by noon, and, of course, through the afternoon, no more fog, at least for the Sacramento Valley. So we do have the next storm system that's approaching. This one is going to be impacting those areas I was talking about for tomorrow morning, and that's the North Coast, Trinity County, and Siskiyou County as well, and maybe even Modoc County. So let's take a look at Futurecast here. A few leftover, morning flurries, but otherwise we're dry today. It's even picking up on some of that fog this morning for the valley. But, we're still seeing some clouds out there despite the fact that high pressure is building in. I'm expecting that later this afternoon and evening, more in the way of clearing skies. But then, look at this. As we go into tomorrow morning, you can see the next round of rain, which will begin to develop here. I think the heaviest will be for Del Norte, northern Humboldt, and western Siskiyou County. This is at 5 a.m. Now, some of that is going to kind of clip even parts of Trinity County as we go into the early morning hours as well. Now, the winds, they're not going to be that big of a deal either, but you can see along the coast, it's still going to be pretty breezy here throughout the day today. But by tomorrow, by Thursday, I expect weaker winds across the board, including the coast. So for today, we're talking upper 50s. Maybe some of the warmer spots in the valley are going to touch that 60-degree mark, but we're warming up across the board. We're going to be back into the 40s for most of the higher elevations, and for the coast, warming up there as well a little bit here with upper 50s, even some low 60s. So looking at your 7-day outlook, again, that morning fog, patchy fog this morning. Otherwise, we're going to be looking at partly cloudy skies and dry conditions through Friday. See how it's getting warmer too. We're talking mid-60s for many parts of the valley here. And then there you can see the showers coming in this weekend and next week. Taking a look at your 7-day outlook for the coast. Chance for morning showers. That's also the case inland and even Trinity County. Dry, though, across the board for Thursday, Friday, and more wet weather by the weekend. There's a look at Siskiyou. Now, Modoc, I haven't put any showers there for you Wednesday morning, but don't be surprised if you see a stray sprinkle early Wednesday morning. Otherwise, the eastern mountains will be dry through Friday. More wet weather going into Saturday, Sunday, Monday. All right, that is your Krueger's Quickcast. Hope you have yourselves a great day. But for those of you that want to get more detail into that forecast, and especially as we start going into next week, because next week, that's Christmas week, right? So many of you may have plans to travel, so we'll take a look at what we can expect here. But before we do all that, I want to remind you there's a free Weather NorCal app. Just go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, download the app for free. And the main thing I say is give it a try. If you don't like it, you can take it off your phone and you can use what other app you were using before that. But I think you'll like it because it's hyper-local. It's all about Northern California, right? All right, so there's that storm system that is approaching. As I mentioned, most of us are just going to see the clouds out of it, but others are actually going to see a little bit of rain. And of course, you saw it on Futurecast a second ago, and we'll take another closer look at that here. So through 5 a.m., 6 a.m., you see where it is: Siskiyou, Trinity, Del Norte, Humboldt County. Look at southern Humboldt County, Garberville, Redway. You may not even see a drop of rain tomorrow morning. And you'll notice it's just trying to clip even parts of Modoc County as well. But then as we go into about the 10 o'clock hour, most of it's gone. The noon hour is gone. You see maybe some of it just clipping Del Norte County even around noon tomorrow, but clearing. We do expect to see some of the fog developing back along the coast here for tomorrow afternoon. Thursday, we'll take you through the day. You don't have anything really going on there. In fact, the fog kind of clearing out. We're looking at probably more sunshine on Thursday. This is the approaching storm system, but it's going to stall out because it's butting up against a ridge of high pressure. So I'd expect that even on Friday it'll be dry, and then by Friday night to Saturday, that will start to kind of inch on in. So let's take a look at the bigger picture here, show you what we got going on. So again, there's Wednesday. You see this? We've got a ridge of high pressure, but we've got this little kink right here in that ridge. It's what we call a shortwave trough, essentially, is what we're looking at here. And what that is you can kind of see the cold front right here. So most of the rain and snow will be to our north, but it is clipping Northern California. That's why Wednesday morning, you saw that on Futurecast, the chance for showers for North and Northwestern California, but everyone else is looking dry. Now, high pressure will be the dominant feature for your Wednesday, Thursday, and even Friday. There is that ridge, right? So the west side of that ridge is kind of like a wall. It just blocks any storms from coming in, and it diverts that energy to our north. But look at this. As we go into the weekend and next week, this ridge shifts to the east, and we're going to be opening that storm door. All of these storms right here, they're going to be moving on in. Taking a look at Saturday and Sunday this weekend, it's looking wet. Saturday, maybe a bit of a break between the storm systems, but then more rain coming in on Sunday. This right here, that's going to be coming in on, looks like Monday into Tuesday. More wet weather. In fact, we even get a little bit of trough right here, so that's going to be a little bit more amplified, probably maybe some heavier rainfall. Then we go, and for fun, now we're going to take you into Christmas. Now, what you're seeing here is this. You see this right here? This is just what we call a zonal flow type pattern, and any storms that are riding along that zone are kind of being transported by the jet stream, and if it's in our general vicinity, we're going to get that rain. So it looks like, based on this particular forecast model, that Christmas Day will be dry, but then maybe the day after Christmas into that next weekend, looking at more of this moving in, giving us more wet weather. All right, so we take a look at the precipitation outlook from December 23rd through the 27th. You see how we have these darker shades of green right here. What that's saying is the darker the shade of green, the better the chances are of seeing above normal rainfall. So you saw those storms that are heading away for this weekend and next week. That would certainly support that. But the thing is, snow levels will, for the most part, be fairly high. So we've got the warmer than normal temperatures, and that's going to help to support those higher snow levels coming out of this. But some of you may have been hearing about La Nina, and I haven't really been talking a whole lot about it. It's been anticipated to be a weak La Nina. And essentially, instead of an El Nino, you talk about, you hear about El Nino, and that's when you have the warmer than normal equatorial Pacific waters, or Pacific equatorial waters, that is. It's warmer than normal. But what happens is you get these stronger trade winds during a La Nina, and that actually gives us cooler than normal water at the equator in the Pacific. That has an impact on our overall weather pattern typically. Even during a weak La Nina, during a weak La Nina, which is what we're going to be really forecasting over the next couple of months to really be going into. Typically what you get here is cooler than normal temperatures in the Pacific Northwest. We typically don't see warmer, but it's kind of just status quo, kind of around normal. And really, if you think about it, we really haven't seen any major drops in the temperatures. We haven't seen any major increases either. It's been kind of right around normal, quite honestly. I mean, it's been dipping above that and below that, but for the most part, if you look at our average temperatures over the last month or so, they've been around normal for this time of the year. Now, when we look at the overall moisture content, you see where we are? We see wetter than normal conditions during even a week in La Nina for the Pacific Northwest, and that does include Northern California. So you think about the pattern we've seen over the last month or so. What have we seen? Mainly above normal temperatures, temperatures around normal, and above normal rainfall. In fact, let's take a look at the percent of normal for the past year. This is looking at the last 365 days. This is not the season, but it's the year. And you can see most cases, minus Crescent City and off to the east here, are over 100% of normal. So we're actually doing quite well for the last 365 days. And how about the last 30 days, just the last month? I mean, most cases, minus Crescent City, are over 100, 200, and even over 300% of normal for the last 30 days. This, of course, explains some of the flooding that we've seen, the mudslides and debris flows, but you get the idea. We're doing well. And again, this helps to support, when we see these numbers, when we see what we've seen for the last 30 days, that helps support the typical pattern we see during La Nina winters. And it looks like that's what's happening here. All right, let's switch gears. We're going to talk about the winds here real quickly. And really, you'll notice really across Northern California, the winds are fairly weak. We're not fairly calm, that is. But look at the coast. It's still breezy, borderline windy here for today. So just note that the coast, it will be breezy there, even going into tonight. But by tomorrow, even the coast, looking at calmer winds. Maybe a little breezy tomorrow for the valley, but not that bad. And then Thursday looks pretty good too, even for the coast. All right, so here's your wave heights. They're going to be really not changing a whole lot. They're going to kind of back off a little bit and then come back here as we go into Wednesday afternoon. Taking a look at your marine forecast here, we do have that small craft advisory through Wednesday afternoon. So today and tomorrow, south winds at about 15 to 20 knots. So here's your Trinity County neighborhood forecast. Temperatures mainly upper 40s to low 50s. There's that chance for morning showers, dry for Thursday, Friday. And again, look at the snow levels. They're high. So we are going to see the rain, but snow levels probably above 6,000 feet. Temperatures for the North Coast for your Tuesday, 62 degrees for Eureka, 63 in Blue Lake. Chance for morning showers, dry though for Thursday, Friday. Really, Wednesday afternoon, Thursday, Friday is dry. Some morning fog for some of those inland valleys, some morning showers, especially to the north. Places like Garberville, for example, you'll probably be dry even on Wednesday and then through Friday as well, and then more rain for the weekend. Your Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast, maybe a chance for a morning shower on Wednesday, but otherwise Wednesday afternoon through Friday it's dry. Snow levels fairly high, around 6,000 feet for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Here's your Modoc County neighborhood forecast. I've kept you dry on Wednesday. If you see a stray sprinkle tomorrow morning, don't be surprised, but it's dry for the most part through Friday. And then, of course, through the weekend, that wet weather kicking in. Shingletown about 50, 42 degrees for Westwood, Portola about 48. I've got you dry all the rest of the week for the Eastern Mountains, including tomorrow. That should stay to the north and west of the Eastern Mountains. And then, of course, by the weekend, early next week, more wet weather. And the Valley, dry also through Friday with that wet weather coming in over the weekend. Temperatures, I've got 60 for Oroville. So just illustrating that some of us may touch that 60 degree mark here for today. But for the most part, we'll call it in the upper 50s. 53 degrees for Whiskeytown, a little bit cooler up in Lakehead at about 52 degrees. Here's a look at your 7-day outlook for Redding. Some of that morning fog, patchy fog, and will be dense at times. Just note that for your morning commute, you may run into some fog on your morning commute. Otherwise, it's going to be dry through Friday. Temperatures a little bit warmer too, mid-60s for Wednesday, Thursday. First day of winter on Saturday. It's going to feel like it. Temperatures are dropping a bit. We're looking at showers, and we'll continue the chance for showers for the rest of the weekend and into early next week. Thank you so much for watching. That's your morning update. I'll be back again this afternoon. Have a great morning.
Wiggly mouth.
Woggy mouth.
No.
Painting.
Wiggy mouth.
It's Woogie Moth painting.
It's Wogamoth painting, and yes, we'll paint anything.